Good evening. Welcome back to the channel. This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, make your own decisions. All right, guys, welcome back. Number of things to go over here. I do want to do some updates on Total 2, Total 3, Bitcoin, Ethereum, show you where we are. But first, I want to do a few disclaimers or clarifying points here. So, guys, a big reason why I get really frustrated, one, just because I genuinely believe a lot of people are intentionally lying to people. And this is not something new. This is something I've been saying since really 2021, right? And the reason why that's extremely frustrating is because there's so much at stake right now. We're not back in 2013, 2014 talking about Microsoft stock, okay? That's not the environment that we're in. And in my opinion, and you might disagree, and that's fine. I might be a little over the top sometimes. But guys, I feel like my general tone and attitude about the situation rises to the magnitude of the severity of the situation. And I mean, you really have to take a step back and look at everything that's going on right now and understand the degree of change that's happening and the impacts that it's going to have on everyone's life. There's no sitting this one out. Many people want that to be an option, but there are certain consequences that come along with burying your head in the sand during this general time period in history. So there's a lot at stake. And because, if I look back at my life, right, it was mostly self-inflicted, almost entirely self-inflicted. But, in my 20s and even in my late teens, I was just very down and out numerous different times in my life, right? And the fact that I kind of understand what's happening here, and I feel like I can make that case using tons of overwhelming evidence, and then to hear what I'm hearing, it sends me off the edge, and I don't know any other way to explain that. All right, because I understand what the impact is going to be. Let's assume that this remains the new system. Let's assume that implementation continues, and let's assume that price and value meet at some point. There will be significant impacts on people's lives who do not figure this out sooner rather than later. I think that's a fair statement. Okay. So if I see people that I think are intentionally steering people away from the truth, there's nothing in the world that can stop me from openly saying something about it. Okay. And so, anyways, all right, guys, jobs are being eliminated. Digital currency, CBDCs, right around the corner. They're pricing people out of traditional assets, houses, vehicles, everything. All right. And again, if this is going to be the new system, people's decisions over the next 2 to 3 years will have a very big impact on the next 10 to 15 years for them. If they even, and I'm being dead serious about this last point here. If these people, if a lot of these perma bears, if they even remotely talked about adoption, if they talked about how the World Economic Forum was involved with the adoption of crypto, and they are, and that's a fact. If they talked about what the central bankers are doing, how CBDCs, blockchain, distributed ledger technology all works together, if they highlighted any real world examples of that already happening, if they covered any of that, but said, guys, listen, this is the future. Here's what's going on right now. Here's all the different receipts. Here's the evidence. Things could change in the future, but this is the case right now. However, guys, I really do believe we're going to get even lower prices because of XYZ. So for those reasons, in my opinion, there are better buying opportunities coming. If that was said, and the backdrop and the context of what this actually was communicated, I really wouldn't have a problem with that. I still think that it would, I still kind of think it would be stupid, but as long as the truth is getting out there and those people understand what this actually is, who's involved, and how far along we are, I wouldn't, I wouldn't even be talking about it. Okay. But it's the two things in combination with each other. It's not going over all that information, which a lot of that's not opinion, it's just fact. Okay. You can do a very simple Google search to find all this information out on your own. All right. And so it's the combination of both of those things. There's so much information being omitted while you have also stay as far away as possible. I know I'm a crypto content creator covering the industry, but it's way too risky for you. You should stay away. But if you do want to use my referral link to trade leverage, that's perfectly fine. Just investing in these assets right now is way too risky. But shorting it on 20x leverage, perfectly fine. Anyways, okay. All right, let's look at these. Total 2. All right, so this is total 2. This is where we are. All right, this is the big thing, guys. Well, not necessarily the big thing. This is just the thing that I've been watching over the last 6 to 7 months. In situations like this where we have sharp pullbacks, do you remember when Bitcoin pulled back to like 20K during the banking crisis? Actually, I have it right here, right there. This was right where we pulled back right here. And that was right on the general trend line right there. And guys, I put the curve here just because a lot of other analysts are showing this. Just assume that this is going to break, okay? The reason that I really wanted to show this, one, was because the daily RSI still does have a little ways to go before it officially bottoms out on all these different charts. That's not to say that it is going to bottom out. However, if in fact we do dive lower, this is traditionally where we find support. And you can look back through all these different examples on each and every single one of these charts, especially this example right here during the banking crisis. If you remember, I showed the chart that night after we crashed down to 20K, and I was like, LOL, no clue where we go from here, but this is where we're at. Now, just because the daily RSI drops down here too, it can kind of grind sideways down in this bottom range for a period of time. So I just want to show you where it's at right now. And if we continue to fall further, where we may find support with these different assets. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to show. I have no real thoughts on up or down in the short term. I don't really care about up or down in the short term. I just wanted y'all to understand this is what I look at when I'm looking at short-term type moves. If we see a big pullback or even just a liquidation, a regular liquidation event, I go look at the daily RSI to find out how far away it is from the general bottom range, because that's historically where we find support. Okay, those are my thoughts. All right. And I'm sure I'm going to get, guys, I put this is the curve pattern. I did not have to manipulate this at all. It fit perfectly right here. However, it fit perfectly back here during this move before we crashed all the way back down. Okay, so just want to make that point. But if we do fall further in the next few days or whatever it may be, the daily RSI is not that far away from this general bottom trend, assuming that holds. So just be aware of that. I do want to show you ICP really quick. I drew this before it even pulled all the way down here, but this was conveniently where it did find some support. No clue whether or not this is going to hold. I don't really care one way or the other. I just assume we go back here and go sideways until the market is ready to finally move. I don't care about fake outs. Right, I do pay attention to everything happening with the market just because I create content. So I have to have a general idea of where things are. But I don't care about shakeouts until, if we're not ready to move at this general point in time, I just assume we go back to whatever levels we were at and just grind sideways. And that's my general thoughts on that. So guys, that's really all I have. And, just keep in mind that the daily RSI on all these different charts has not bottomed. And so if we do go further, that's probably where we will find support, wherever the daily RSI hits that general support area. Okay. That's all I have for this video. Thank you everyone who has liked, share, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Actually, damn, I should have said this earlier in the video. Guys, it's my backup channel. So for whatever reason, YouTube just clears off tons of comments, including my own comments. And I don't have my backup channel. I don't have access to it on my phone. So I have to go back into my computer. So just be aware of that when you're commenting. I might not respond to all of them the same way that I do on my regular channel, just because YouTube clears off my comments and your comments. All right. That's it. Take care. Have a good day. I will see you in the next video.